The classic standard of care for what we think is a neuroma or neuritis is to do a series of injections in that area. If it is something that is either not getting better with 2 or 3 injections, certainly there are some diagnostic testing like an ultrasound, diagnostic ultrasound testing that can be that can look into that area and very, very thick. And quite often, if it's very, very large, the cortisone may not work as well. If it's very small, if you do a series of injections, usually that will help. And you know, generally, even for my runners, I'll usually suggest to continue maybe another injection or 2, but you do have to watch your shoes, your metatarsal pull-on, pull-off pad that will open up and kind of spread out the metatarsal so that there's no pressure on those nerves in between those toes. And so the cortisone works great, but if you don't change the shoes from squeezing and pinching, you're going to be kind of, you know, kind of up against a big wall there. So
great. Your feet are bigger than you thought they were before. Now,
yes.
A lot of people don't get their foot remeasured when they go in. They think,
right.
oh, I was a 10 and a half
4
years ago. I must be still on 10 and a half, but that may not be the case, right?
Correct.
So getting measured with every new shoe purchase is important, right?
Well, maybe at least once a year. If you've ever had children as a woman, your foot will get bigger. If you've or a walker or such, those are the things that will expand our foot size. And so it's not a bad idea to periodically have your foot measured, maybe once a year, once every year and a half or so, depending on how often you're going into the store. But very, very often we're a little larger than we actually think we are.
I know I certainly am.
Most patients that late, but at the end of the day, your feet are the biggest they're going to be. If you've worked out or run or walked, that's the time to get your feet measured and fit, and definitely bring the appropriate socks. Some people really like those thick socks. So bring those socks that you like to wear with you, and try your shoes on with those socks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we brought a couple typical sort of running shoes with us that were a video of what you're going to show the viewers. So
right.
Why don't you show up some of the shoes
Sure.
about how you test them for strength and durability
Sure.
and all that kind of stuff.
I always tell patients that you need to buy the shoe that fits your mechanical needs. Now, some feet have a very high arch and they have a beautiful C-shaped appearance. Test. And most of the patients that I see as a podiatrist traditionally don't have perfect, beautiful feet. So this shoe is probably kind of more taboo in my office. The shoe should always bend in the forefoot, but if you can bend it in half, that's probably not a very stable shoe. And if you have any issues with overpronation or the foot rolling in, probably the one shoe you may not want to be in if you're having some issues. If you look at another shoe, typically you want to look for, if you need a little more support, there is this, I don't know if the color is showing here, but the midsole, which is the section in the middle of the shoe, can have a little bit more of a heavier blocker or a thicker, stiffer material, which will make that in the middle. So it only bends in the forefoot, which is where you want the shoe to bend, not in the arch, not in the middle part of the shoe. So this is the better shoe for somebody who's got a flatter foot or a foot that rolls in and pronates. So very important to get the right midsole material. And then the brand, the beautiful thing about all the brands out there is that they all run a little bit lower in others. The lacing may be a little bit different. So that's the beauty of variety. That's the stuff that can make the fit even better. But the mechanics of the shoe really is very important. So
Great. We're going to flash up a website where people can see sort of a nice, concise 1.5 minute video of that demonstration. You'll see a nice little video
Yes.
that will explain all this to you guys.
Sure.
All right. Okay. Any last thoughts? You mentioned, I think when Dr. Jacoby was here last month, he talked about when you go in for a fitting.
Well, I think if you do buy your shoes in the end of the day, bring the proper socks. You want about a thumb's width between the end of the shoe and the end of the toe. So you want to make sure you've got a little bit of room at the tip of the toe box for your toes to kind of expand a little bit as you work out and run and really should be comfortable from the get-go. If you're wearing a high-heel pointy shoe, that might be a little bit of a break-in time or two, but not an athletic shoe. They really should be very comfortable right out of the box for you.
Okay. And I guess our closing thought is the Illinois Podiatric Medical Association is hosting or sponsoring to participate. They can call this 800 number or log on to the IPMA website, which is ipma.net,
Right.
and find a participating podiatrist near them. Just punch in your zip code,
Right.
and you'll find some podiatrists that are near you. You can get a free pedometer and all
yeah.
sorts of good walking tips and exercise tips. So
Yes.
go to that
Really,
website
really
and